you lead off the chapter for the 2001 album Lateralus. A quote from Maynard, who talks about where the band was at this time around then. He said his bandmates were not happy with his side project, A Perfect Circle. Some friction there, but that did make for good art. At 78 minutes, 51 seconds, this is one of the longest single CD releases ever recorded. Debuts at #1 on Billboard when it's released, and that was released on May 15th of 2001. The singles Schism, Parabola, and the title track. Schism, you write, is perhaps the song which officially crowned Tool the new kings of progressive rock. Can you talk about this song's complexity, specifically the time signatures? I find this stuff fascinating.
Yeah, so the Schism was the first song that I heard from Tool. So 2001. I mean,
Okay.
I was a new metal kid.
Yep.
So I got into heavy music in 2000 when Limp Bizkit was on the music channels, Korn, Linkin Park came up, and Papa Roach. So music video after music video was all these new metal bands. A lot of them were rap rock, rap metal orientated. And I remember I was around with friends, and we would just, in the sort of school holidays, we would just spend hour after hour in front of the TV watching Kerrang. We'd perhaps sometimes ring up and vote for a music video to come on. And we didn't care if it was we didn't care if Limp Bizkit had been on 3 hours ago. We wanted to hear it again. And yeah, I specifically remember Schism came on the first time I'd heard of this band Tool, and straight away, just the name Tool, I thought that's a bit of a strange name for a band. And when it leads in with that bass riff, I mean, I was like, whoa, this is not, this isn't a rap metal song. This isn't going to be the sort of thing we're used to hearing. And yeah, it just came in with that that it made you sit up and take notice, I guess. I called it a legendary and otherworldly bass riff, and it just came in so different to what you was hearing at the time. I read that an analysis of the track also found that the meter of the song altered 47 different times. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the most understanding in terms of the terms of used in song structures and different things. So even for this book, I had to really sort of delve into like the reasoning behind them and what sort of everything that went into the song, I guess. And it's quite ironic that one of the lead lyrics is "I know the pieces fit," because this really was a song that was concocted meticulously. I can imagine why it took so long to be put together. And yeah, it's just absolutely, that time I do remember it was unlike anything I'd ever heard again. And it was the reason why I did end up going to the shops and buying Lateralus to see what else they was capable of.
Yeah, sonically and lyrically too, like the title track, which is another fascinating story. You get into the details in
Yes.
in the book about where that title comes from.
Yeah, I mean, this song, I mean, I listened again and again and again, but it was also more about the Fibonacci sequence that even today I don't think I can get my head around in terms of how the song came together. Yeah, so again, using in typical Tool fashion, they didn't want to sort of stick to the norm and have some kind of simple album title. So combining parts of different words to form this singular head in it. I mean, I said it was, the title is an imagistic as the collection of songs which would form the whole album. So they take part of the vastus lateralis leg muscle and combine it with the term of lateral thinking, put it into a blender, and somehow they came out with the term lateralis, lateralus, that's what we should say. But the song itself, yeah, I mean, I must have rewritten this part of the book 4 or 5 times because I'm not the greatest mathematician. I had to read so much up on the Fibonacci sequence, which ultimately and mistakenly, as just Maynard later revealed, that's how the song was put together musically. It turned out it's yeah. I mean,
Challenges the listener and challenges authors who try to write books about Tool.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, obviously, people may listen to this and probably not have a clue what I'm talking about, and I still don't know if I know what
Pop
I'm
a few
talking about.
Advil as you're trying to work your way through it.
Yeah, but there is a small video cut on YouTube of Joe Rogan's interview with Maynard where they actually talk about how the song came together. So it turned out that they was writing in a measure that of 987, which how they came to realize it was part of a Fibonacci sequence. 987 is eventually a number in that sequence. The main genesis of the song contains successive time signatures of 98, 88, and 78. 987 being the 16th integer of the Fibonacci sequence. It's an infinitely expanding form of a spiral. In later years, scientists and mathematicians have been able to correlate the equation to the sequence, where again somehow they've managed to find this sequence in science, art, structures such as the Giza Plateau, the Mona Lisa painting. There's a very interesting thing you can look at online about how supposedly facial structures are made in this sequence, and even in the human DNA. Again, like it's absolutely mind-boggling,
Yeah,
really. But
that's some
basically,
serious intelligence.
the early part
Serious
of the
intelligence.
sequence begins as 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. It's basically the two previous numbers being added together to form the ever-expanding spiral. So 2 and 3 is 5, 3 and 5 is 8, and so on. It's just mind-boggling, really, and I think that's probably where some people that were able to kind of pick up on this theory, a form of a never-ending and infinitely expanding spiral, where they realised that Tool were miles ahead of the game, especially in that nu metal era, where Tool were getting mentioned alongside the likes of Limp Bizkit and Korn. But then when you listen to the music, you can see that there is a golfing class, I guess. I mean, I love the nu metal bands that I've mentioned, but Tool are on a whole another level.